Hello, and welcome back to another game of LOK Digital, or I guess I should say another set of games of LOK Digital. We just finished off with the BE keyword, which allowed us to place a letter anywhere that we wanted to, and we are now on to a new area. It looks like, oh my god, they have truly reached peak civilization. So, like, the lore, if you can call it that, of this game at the very beginning was that these little guys needed help in making their, like, civilization grow. Apparently, I've helped it grow so much that they've made factories. I think like over here they had a campfire in the very first one. Yeah. Oh, that's so cute that they like. Oh, they discovered the wheel here. Okay. Okay. And then here we've got our first city, our first houses, and then we started making what is it? Electricity, I think. Yeah, this was World War up here. And then after we discovered electricity, we had the advent of the factory to use that electricity. And then with a bunch of extra production, we just had time to make things like better infrastructure, like trains. And that sounds like a pretty fast train, not gonna lie. There's a rule that wasn't obvious before. Look at the hint if needed. I'm gonna try not to. What's the rule that you want to tell me about? So we've got plaque here. Oh, right. Like this. Then we've got LO. Is it a new word that I don't know about? And I can't start on conductors. AK doesn't spell anything. OL. Alt. Yep, no new words. Okay, so I need to make ta at some point, but to be able to make ta, I need to hit this L out of the way. So I need to hit that O somehow. Sure, I'll look at the hint. There's a rule that wasn't obvious before. What makes it obvious now? You can spell words backwards. Oh, okay, okay. Does that change anything? No. How would this help me solve this level? I could do at instead of ta. But again, to do so, I need to go through the A. And there's nothing else in a dictionary. Yeah, BE isn't possible here. We've got AT, we've got lock, and we've got tlack, but we can only use either one of tlack or one of ta. So to finish this level, I would need to finish the word ta and hit the X's, and then I've got L, O, and K to use. Oh my god, that one too. I forgot that you can go, like, I already solved this in a previous one, where you can jump over empty spaces as if they're black boxes. But I just kind of forgot, you know? Okay, so I think, let me go back to that level. So what it's trying to teach you here is that you can spell lock like this, because me spelling tlack backwards doesn't do anything, but you can. I don't think there's any actual like benefit to spelling words backwards compared to forwards because you have to follow the exact same path, but it's cool that you can. Okay. So I need to get rid of this V with a lock. I've got a ta to get rid of the white space. Do I need to make two tas? I think I need to make two tas to be able to get rid of this T. So let's start out by doing a BE to make the O that I want for the lock. Oh, right. No, it's a tlack down here so that I can get rid of more of the letters. And then I get rid of these two. Use the ta to get rid of the V. Okay. We've got a TA that I can make across here. What else? What else? All right, had to step away there for a second. Kind of lost myself in the puzzle, so I'm going to restart from the beginning. I see a BE here that we can make into one other letter. I'm seeing a TLAC, which allows us to get rid of 2, but I'm assuming that we need to make a LO and K and then a TA at some point, because we can connect the TA here. So I'm thinking LO and K here, but we have to make the TA first. The TA, I would like to get rid of all of the conductors, but if I get rid of the conductors, there's no way for me to be able to connect the lock how I want to. But I can't make the lock first because that's going to go through the A. I do need to make the A first. Is there no other way for me? Oh, I can go like this to get around it to make the lock to get rid of this spot here and then the TA to get rid of all of the X's. Okay. Puzzle done. Oh, this is getting a bit rougher. Okay, so we've got a BE here, we've got a TA here, we've got bounces all along the bottom. So as long as I can get like my string there, then I can make this work. I think this being another conductor makes sense, but that does also leave an extra O behind. The TA is going to be to get rid of all the conductors, right? The BE will need an LO and K and an LO and K. So lock up here, but that'd be creating an O, and then I've got an ook down here, and that doesn't work. If I create a lock by going... No, because I need to bounce through the O in the middle. I guess I can do this lock here, and then this lock here. But I'd need to spawn another L, and that's the last thing that I need. Perfect. Okay, so BE creates an L here, and then a lock gets solved by bouncing across these two conductors. And then we have to get rid of a... Oh, but we have to get rid of one of... Oh, we can get rid of the conductor in the middle. That's fine. And the lock bounces around the edge. We can get rid of one of the conductors, and then the TA to get rid of the last one. Okay. S. We don't have an S in the dictionary. Okay, so that's one that we have to wildcard. The U is another one we have to wildcard. I'm seeing a TL. So something like TLAC, which we could make by going like this to get rid of the US. We'll start with this. We'll see like what needs to change about the puzzle later. I'm seeing the option for a TA. I'm also seeing the option for a lock if I change some things. The TA is definitely going to be to get rid of the conductors, and the lock is going to be to get rid of the last space, whatever that is. So my TLAC can be used on the U and the K here to make this lock. That works. Okay, so TLAC like we did at the beginning, get rid of this. Lock to get rid of the S, and then the TA to get rid of the conductors. Okay. I'm seeing a TL, and is there any AK that I can bounce it into? The A starts in the corner, so not really. We would need to bounce it to something in the middle, and we've got a BE to be able to bounce it to that thing in the middle. I could also make another conductor, but that doesn't help me. I could make a lock instead here, and the BE could get rid of the... No, but that's an L, so I can't bounce it. Let's start with the BE and make this a conductor in the middle, because I feel like that's going to give me the most options with creating a lock like this. And then I can get rid of this guy to make another lock down here. And then we're looking to make a... Oh, that's a conductor, not a K. But I can bounce over into this K here. Get rid of this B. Then it's just a TA at the end, not a TLAC, to get rid of the conductors. Okay, we've got a BE here and a BE here to get rid of. The last two could also be other BEs, but I'd need to get rid of the L at the beginning. Which... Is that possible? No, unless I get rid of this B first. Let me try that. I want to try adding another 2 BEs. Oh, right, I can't turn out of this O here. If this was a conductor, I could... Wait, can I hop over my own word? Well, I need to test that, actually. So if I do a lock like this, oh, that's a lock that works. Hold on, how did I get this before? No, never mind. I don't need to do that. Okay, so it's BE into a B over here, or I guess an E would make more sense. That's the wrong key press. Okay, and then a BE to make a B down here, and then we lock by going below it first, and then above it, and we get rid of the A. But if we have one more BE, there's no more things left to be able to bounce onto. So I need to make a ta. And the last letter that I have should be an F, so that my ta can get rid of these two Fs at the same time. Right? Wait. I've got the option for a lock or a tlack. But if I do a tlack, then I don't have an option for a ta, and the ta is necessary to get rid of all of the conductors. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The BE here has to create a ta at some point. The ta can then be bounced to like this, and we get rid of all the conductors. Now we just need a way to get rid of this F somehow. The lock could get it done. This could be a conductor then. That's what it is. Okay, so very beginning, we'll put down an X here, and then we'll make a lock to be able to get rid of the F so that the BE can be created for a T down here. And then we just bounce this into place. Hold on. Messing this up. There we go. Get rid of all the X's. Okay, let's see some of the hard levels on this. Oh, we've got space travel next. Man, they're really, they're pushing the bounds of civilization quickly. We've got a lock here into a ta. We've got a BE that it seems like it wants us to make another lock with eventually. If I make this an O, that doesn't work. How do I bounce the other lock into the space that I need? That doesn't work. If I put a conductor here, it's gonna hit a blank spot here anyways, so that doesn't work. So the L needs to bounce through this conductor after the B to then bounce into this O, but then how does it hit the K at the end? And there's no way that I could make a tlack, right? It really doesn't feel like it. I mean, this could be a tlack, actually. Down here instead of a ta. How does that change the game? And then a lock goes here. I'm one space off because this ta here can get rid of the X's, but not the L up top. And there's no way for this tlack to hit the conductors. The lock could hit its own, but the tlack hitting this X and L... Wait, if the tlack hits this X and L, then I can ta these two spaces instead, and that works. No, because I need the lock here. It can't go on its own conductor. So let me think about actual options for this B and E. Lock can't get added to at all. I can't make another BE. I can't make any extra tas. I can only make a tlack here. Or I can maybe somehow get an extra L, O, and K to make an extra lock. If I were to make an extra lock, there'd be another 4 off of the board, so let's just say these are gone. Then I make one ta. One ta to get rid of the white space, one ta to get rid of the X's. That works. I'm gonna try again with the tlack. What white space do I want to get rid of? Or hold on, let me not do this one as the tlack. I could taw again to get rid of the conductors, but then I can't bounce the O into the K that it needs to be. There's no way to get rid of this K with this L up here, not with the conductors that I have. So I do feel like this needs to be a tlack to get rid of this stuff in the corner. Now we've got a lock, and we could sort of taw first before doing this tlack. Getting rid of these two. That's not enough. I need the taw to get rid of this white space somehow. If I make an early taw, then that just stops me from making the tlack to begin with. Or does it? T, bounce into the L. No, because I can't bounce it after that. No, I can make it bounce if it's here. Hold on. Let's try making this an X. I want to try making a tlack. Yep, so then the lock just has to go here. We're going to make it so that the TA can bounce across. So then it's TL. Oh, this is a white space that I can't use. Messed up. The lock is then going to go here so that I can bridge across it. And then we fill out those two white spaces so the taw can hit the X's. Okay. Kind of felt like that one solved itself, but I'll take it. This is a lot of options. Taw number 1. I'm not seeing any O's, and I'm not seeing BE to create any letters. So it is just tlacks or taws in a specific order. TL, this allows me to bounce. That's not enough. Okay, so I need to T and then bounce somewhere earlier into either an A or an L. This doesn't allow me to do anything, so I don't like this T. I think this T needs to be, like, removed at some point. Let's start on a different T somewhere else. Wait, we only have 2 T's? No, 3 T's. They're all in this corner. Okay, so if I taw, I can get rid of the L's. If I taw, I can get rid of the K's. If I taw, I can get rid of the conductors. We've got 1, 2, 3 T's, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A's. If I tlack, there is 2 K's, so that gets rid of one of the A's and one of the K's, and the tlack can get... Vibes based, I can't just play taws. I need to play 1 tlack in there. So let me try playing this one first. And I feel like removing things in the center is going to help me out more. So let's try this. Actually, this. I don't know why. This just feels like a good move to me. I've got another tlack, maybe? That doesn't work. I can't bounce to these guys. Can I ever bounce to these two? Do I just need to start here? Because there's nothing along this line. There's only these guys along this line. Nothing along this line, nothing along this line. So this A is like dead space. This L, just about for the same reason. The only thing that's in line with it is this A or this K. And you can't go L into a K right away. You need an A before it. So this A and L seem to be like drifting. I don't like this K either. I'm gonna do this for now. What about giving me the option for the next tlack? Right, I can't bounce. I need to go down there. If I make a taw, that's just conductors left on the board. Oh, okay. Again, that one felt like it solved itself. But hey, I'm here for it. We've got a BE. that allows us to create one letter of our choice in here. I'm seeing a tlac, I'm seeing another tlac, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces that we need to get rid of afterwards, with one extra over here. So hold on, tlac with these two. Don't worry, I know that I'm not going to actually hit this E. We've got a tlac here, getting rid of these two, and there's no other K to pair with this L. Nothing to pair with this Z, nothing to pair with this B. I could also, instead of making tlacs, make taws instead, or I can make one taw, I should say. We want to have a space to get rid of in the center, which means that I have to either make a lock for it to get rid of it, or a tlac. And there's nothing that can bounce to it, so I feel like that has to be a taw to get there. And then that leaves a lot of L's and K's behind, so I feel like a lock is in order. But there's no way for me to get back here easily with an L, because I'd have to get rid of the Z first. So this letter in the middle has to be a Z so that I can get rid of both of them at the same time with this taw. So we go here, we hit a Z, we make a taw to get rid of the Z's, and then I can make... Oh, right, there's no more locks left because I don't have a second BE. I was thinking that I had the ability to make an O, and then I could tlac at the end of this, but even tlaccing doesn't work anymore because there's no A to pair with it. That might not be it then. I think I have to make a different letter. How do I get rid of the one in the center? It's lock, ta, or BE, but there's... I can't create a BE. Yeah, I can't connect to the center at all. So yeah, it is a ta or a lock. And if I do a lock early, I'm always going to hit an A, or I'm going to hit a Z, trying to get to the extra space to hit the O into one of the Ks. So it does feel like it has to be a ta, which then, because I want to get rid of the Z, I'm just putting a Z up there, but this could be any letter on the board. What if I get rid of all of the L's instead? What does that look like? No, because I can't do that because I need to play a tlac. If I play this tlac early, how do I play a taw? I can get rid of this L and this Z. And then I have X's, L, O, and K to get rid of. Which, see, like, it would be perfect if I could somehow ping this into being an O and then get out. Oh, actually, I don't need to put a letter down here. I do put an O up here, and that's the solution. Okay. How did I get here? It was the tlac next, which then got rid of the L and the Z. And then I could play the lock before I get rid of the conductors to get rid of the space in the middle, and then the taw to get rid of the conductors. There we are. All right, let's play some more of the difficult levels. Oh. So I'm seeing B2, 3 and E2, 3. So I get to make 3 letters, 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter. This B works. I need to get rid of this U before I can do anything. I could conduct through here to make that B. And I will need to, because there's no other way to get rid of this E unless I use a lock or something on it, but that doesn't feel like that's what this puzzle is asking me to do. I could also conduct down through here after getting rid of this O, and I could conduct through this X up through here. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to be spawning any conductors with my Bs. So I have a taw to get rid of the conductors. That's like almost a necessary thing in these levels. I have another taw to get rid of the U's. But to play this taw, I need to get rid of the E on the inside. Or, that doesn't work. I could play a lock somewhere, maybe, to be able to remove one of these E's in between. Because I'm seeing a lock, L, O, and K here, and I've got enough for L, O, and K one more time, and the 2 L, O, and K's no, because I don't want to get rid of the B, E's. I need to hit them with these guys. Okay, let's say that I start out by putting a BE down. And what's stopping me from just creating more BEs? Actually being able to finish the level. How do I ever hit this E if I don't get rid of this U? How do I get... Okay, how do I get rid of the U? if I get rid of this square, but the only way to get rid of this B is to use up this one, and I'd have to place a conductor here if I want to try getting the L out. And even if it's out here, it's not hitting a K anyways. I could, no, you can't wrap back around to that one. I could make a TA early, get rid of all of the U's. Let's try that. TA, get rid of the U's, so that I can then play this BE to place an X here, to then play this BE to place, what do I want up here? I've got no TAs left on the board. Interesting. Do I have a TLAC? TL, it doesn't bounce into anything though. Ooh, so this T that I put down here could have been a TLAC instead. Let me try that. Oh, wait. It needs to be an X. My bad. TLAC. And then I want to make sure that a B can go through here, but then I'd have to hit this U and do the T off to the side, and I don't want to hit the T, because that, like, provides me a TA. If I hit these two, that does nothing for me, though. Alright. Let's run with the TLAC mindset. I don't think it's going to lead me anywhere, but you never know. I'm able to get this BE next, and then I can create a conductor out here to create another BE over here, and then create... The T isn't going to do anything. Oh, I can bounce a LOK through here after this BE. L, bounce through here. O, bounce through here. Bounce here, hit a K. So the last BE needs to be another conductor over here. And then we hit a LOK. Okay, so I need to find a way to solve this level without hitting this T, because this T at the very end could bounce here, 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 into... Can this T ever hit this A? Yes, it can. It just needs to bounce off of this thing in the corner. That's the, like... it's the load-bearing conductor. Let me back this up. So the TLAC that I play at the very beginning could instead be the LOK. No, because there's an E in the way. Yeah, it could be, because I can bounce the E there instead. Okay, so we put a conductor down here. We play this BE. We put a conductor up here so that we can play the LOK. So that we can get rid of this U to play the last BE to put the last conductor down on the board. And now we have a TLAC to play to get rid of the U's, and a TA to go all the way around the outside to get rid of all of the conductors. Oh, that was such a fun one. Okay, that's a lot. All right, BE down in the bottom corner. We've got another BE here and another BE here. So we've got 3 letters to create, but I'm only... Oh, okay, no, never mind. I am seeing 3 empty spots, so it doesn't want us to create all of them. If I get rid of this N, I can bounce the BE through here. This guy is probably going to need to bounce off of a conductor to hit another E. Or if I get rid of this O, this BE can be made, and then this guy can bounce off a conductor down below. Either way, I have to use one conductor. So either this L or this O goes. I've got options, that's what I'm trying to say. Probably not going to get rid of the L's or the O's, because those spell LOK, and I'm probably going to need to spell a few of those. I see a TA here. That's going to be something that gets rid of all of our conductors at the end. How else do I get rid of all of the characters that I'm seeing? Because there's so many of them. I'm liking an L up here to make another LOK. Let's start out with this one so that I can create this BE from down below. And we get rid of this N. Let's try it. To make a BE here, to put down an L up top here, to then get rid of this D, so that this last conductor can be made down here, to get this BE to be made. And now we've got the option for T, L, A, K, a TLAC. But then there's no way for this T to... Oh, hold on. Oh, there's got to be a way for this T to bounce to the A somehow, right? There might also be 2 tracks out there. Okay, if I put a conductor down here, it doesn't change anything. If I put a conductor where this L is, that would allow me to bounce this T out of there. But I'd need to find a different way to get the L into that position. I guess this L can just bounce up instead. Okay, let's reset. Let's reset. So the lock needs to go here to grant us another BE. We play one of our BEs to put a conductor up here so that we can bounce things around in the way that we want. We play this BE to be able to place a conductor down here. And then we need to find a way to get rid of this D without like a new letter being spawned in. If I play black first, this conductor is like load bearing, right? Yeah, that's the way that I wanted the 2 conductors to match up so that I could play this guy. Instead of getting rid of the N, do I get rid of the D? So we go here, and we play the BE to place this conductor. And then we can play this BE right away into playing this conductor up top. And then we can play this L. Yeah, now it can go through this B to hit the OK to get rid of this N, so that we now have the BE to play afterwards. Nice. And then I'm assuming it's just a tlack and a taw. Like tlack here to get rid of the PN, and a TA bouncing it off of the conductors to get rid of all of the conductors. Nice. I really wonder how many solutions there are to these puzzles. There's got to be so many out there. All right, that's another world completed, another key gained. See you guys around.